Okay, so we're going to start out tonight with lesson number 5. And we're going to start out again with the greeting. So make the right fist, cover it with the left hand, and offer it heart level. Okay? So that's kind of the greeting, the salutation, whatever. Let's start with some breathing again. Try to breathe in and out through the nose. Okay? And we'll just sort of work towards sinking the breath. Just about after about 3 passes, the breathing's starting to settle into the tummy area. Now, from here, start to let the feeling of breath. Your physical breath is not going to extend there, but down the legs. So for me, right there, it's about knee level. About mid-thigh level. Yeah, settling kind of the feet. It's just a feeling, but you breathe to and a little bit through the floor. The feeling is we are sinking our breath, not forcing it down or locking down, but sinking the breath. And as I do that, the thoughts, what Bruce Lee termed the noisy mind, starts to kind of settle calm. Okay, all right, so starting with the breathing, let's also review steps. Now what we found, because we're shooting at night, most of the Aikido things I do are day, but we get the glare from the lamp. So we're starting with a different shot. Instead of going into the lamp, we're kind of doing more of a side, so we'll be facing a different angle, okay? And from here, we're starting out with feet shoulder width, okay? So here I'm going again, I'm bending the knees, but it's kind of that sinking feeling, not locking down. Turning out the right foot, shift the weight to the right, keep the knee bent. Heel, toe, knee covers toe, back foot turns in. Nose and navel face corner, straight ahead, and then align to the knee. Back. Turn out the left foot, keep the knee bent, shift the weight to the left, straight ahead, 90-degree step. Back foot toe turns in, nose and navel corner, straight ahead, knee. Okay. Now, we'll start with the right foot and go to the left. This time it's a 30-degree step. It's easier to go 45 degrees, because 30 degrees is about here. Okay. So bend the knees. Should be a little straighter. Turn out the left foot, shift the weight to the left. 30-degree step, heel toe. Knee covers toe. Back foot, toe turns in. Here, shifting the weight straight back and forward. This is the push movement. And aligning, turning, same direction as rear knee and toe, same direction as front knee and toe. And that's your push upward, pull back, and press forward moves. Okay? And just the ding bow stance, toes, heels together, turn the toes out, 45 degrees, heels touch. Now the right foot goes out. This is toe. Distance between the knees, thumb to ring finger, toe. Weight stays back. Okay. Now, big bow, heel. Heel. We don't want there the toe faces straight. Okay. So those are the primary steps. Okay. So as I said, we'll be starting kind of facing a different direction today. And so we will be starting, like, why don't we start out where you get a back move? When I practice in this room, that's the direction I start, okay? Let's just make sure we have a full body shot. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart. Relax the chest, breathe naturally. Commencement of Tai Chi. And forward off left. Push upward, right side, back foot toe turns in. Pull back. Press forward. And push. Shift the weight back, arms straighten, but they don't lock. Right toe turns in, 45 degrees. Now shift the weight to the right, hold the ball, left hand under. Step up, shoulder we form, fist under elbow. Keep the weight back on the right foot. Now this is a retreat step, toe heel step back, left foot. Right foot turns in, repulse monkey. Slanting flying. Raised hands. Stork spreads its wings. Left brush knee. Twist step. And keep the weight back on the right foot. Needle at Siva. Fan through the back. Turn. Right snake sticks out tongue. Pull back. Press forward. And push. Okay. Okay, and from here, arms extend but don't lock. This time you turn the toe all the way in, faces your original direction. Hold the ball, left hand underneath you on the toes of the left foot. Straight ahead, 90-degree step, single whip. Make sure that back foot turns toe in. Shifting the weight back, turn the left foot all the way in so you're facing straight ahead. Left hand holds the ball. Fair lady works at shuttles. 1. Shifting the weight to the right. Right hand holds the ball from underneath. Turn the left foot all the way in. Fair Lady works and shuttles 2. Make sure that rear foot turns in. Turn the right toe out. Raise the left hand. 3. And repeat that big turn between 1 and 2. Take you from 3 to 4. Now, lower the hands. This is 45-degree step. Okay, but this is ward off left. Back foot turns in. This is push upward. Yeah, we're still on camera here. Pull back. Press forward. And push. Okay. And single whip. Okay. Okay. So that's a run through of the movements through lessons 1 through 4. Okay. So, questions? Anybody would like to see a particular section again or a particular movement? We're going to review the Fair Lady Works and Shuttles in just a couple of minutes. But does anybody have a question about one of the movements or would like to see the movement from a different angle? Anybody? Okay. No questions? Then what we'll do is we'll just go through the Fair Lady Works and Shuttles sequence. Okay? And let's see. Remember let me do this so I can center myself a little better on the big screen. Okay? White snake, 6 out tongue. There's repetition. Pull back. Press forward. And push. Okay? And before, we went into fist under elbow, but this time you turn the left foot all the way in, shift the weight back. You're holding a ball, left hand underneath, toe position, left foot, 90-degree step to my left. Back foot turns toe in. Left hand comes up, nose hip height. It's about 90 degrees in the elbow here, not too here or too extended. Right hand extended, but not locked. Wrist relaxed. And you can see right here, nose, navel, face the knee. This is back about 30 degrees. It gives a gentle stretch for the shoulder. If I go here, I lock the shoulder. Nose and navel. And then a little further, but not too much. Wrist relaxed, fingers touch. Single break. Okay. Anybody with any questions about that particular sequence? Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go from single whip through Fair Lady Works and Shuttles, and then single whip. Okay, so it goes from single whip to single whip. Okay. Yes. I'm shifting the weight back to the right foot. I'm holding a ball, left hand under. I turn the left foot all the way in, shifting the weight back. I'm crossing with the right foot. As I shift the weight to the right, I'm going to raise the left hand along the midline of the body, 30-degree step. Fair Lady Works and Shuttles. 1. This is above the forehead, it's the midline of the body. This is to the side. Too low, too high. This is nose tip high. Okay. So let's just review that again. Okay. Okay. Anybody with a question would like to see that from a different angle? Anybody? That's Fair Lady Works at Shuttles one. I'll show it from a different angle just so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to face the camera. Okay, questions or another angle? Okay, and we'll go. Okay, so let's go. Let's start out from single width. Okay, now we'll shift the weight to the right, keep the knee bent. Lower the hands, right hand's underneath, holding a ball. Turn the left foot all the way in. Keep the left foot knee bent. Now keep turning away. 30-degree step, heel toe. Fair Lady Works at Shuttles 2. Okay. So that's a challenging turn. But again, we're learning how to sync our center, develop a real natural flexibility and motion from kind of your core center, keeping the shoulders relaxed, the breathing calm and deep. Okay? And the type of motion is the type of meditation in movement. Okay? All right, anybody with a question on movement? Corner 1 to corner 2. Okay? Well, let's go through that again. Okay, so we'll, shifting the weight back. Now turn the left foot all the way in, but keep the knee bent on the right side. Shift the weight to the left, knee bent, cross foot step. Shifting the weight to the right, raise the left hand, step left foot 30 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to shift the weight back to the right, knee is bent, turn the left foot all the way in. Now, see, rotating the hips, toe position, heel toe step, Fair Lady Works at Shuttles 2. Okay. Right? Any questions about the that transition? Because that repeats again from 3 to 4. That's quite a step. Okay. As you learn to focus and relax, you get a feeling of calm here. Now, what happens is the life force is extended around the body. And so as you get the feeling of calm here interior-wise, what happens is you feel like you're kind of floating and riding that. So initially, from twisting, turning to make that step, I really want to sink everything and just sort of ride. Like the energy is a field that supports my movement. So I can be both very grounded and yet very, very fluid in the motion. And when I move that way, there's a soothing effect, which kind of really calms the mind and lets the body breathe, and relax. Okay? Okay, so now, this is the easiest change. Keep the weight on the right foot. Lower the hands, left hand's holding a ball. Turn the right toe out slightly. Now I'm gonna keep the weight on the right, on the toe position, left foot. Raise the left hand, step 30 degrees. And that's the third corner. Corner number 1, corner number 2, corner number 3. Okay? So let me make sure I am kind of centered in the camera. Corner number 2. Turn the toe out slightly. If I don't, then you start to kind of wobble a bit there, but this widens my base a bit. Raise the left hand on the toe of the left foot, heel toe step 30 degrees, and that's 3. Okay, 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so full body. Okay. So, anybody with any questions? Corner 1, corner 2, corner 3. Fair lady works the shuttles.
I have a question actually about all the corners.
Yeah.
At the very end, when you're in place, where is the weight on your feet?
Your weight on the Fair Lady Works shuttles is on your forward foot. Okay, that's a very good question. See, my weight is kind of double weighted here. Okay, so the knee covering the toe puts, I would just say probably 70% of the weight here. When you're doing the ding bow stance, I would say probably about 90% of the weight is back. But here, 70% is forward. When I did karate, you have about 60% forward on the forward stance. Tai Chi, here. But that back foot, you see, is fluid. Boom. Both feet, if you're forward, you can shift back. If you have a foot that's back, so it can be raised or boom, free motion. So on the forward step, it's about a 70% of the weight. Okay? A good question, by the way. Okay, anybody else? Okay, now we're going to go from corner 3 to corner 4. So I'm going again. Sorry. Corner 3. Shift the weight back to the right foot. This is a repeat. Lower the hands, right foot's underneath. Turn left foot all the way in so it's facing straight that direction. And see how much I'm turning the waist? This is corner number 4. Okay? Corner number 4. So Fair Lady works at shuttles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you show too many angles on that, you get confused. So when you're practicing, like we changed the actual direction of the shoot because the lamps were causing a glare in the picture. So we just decided this way you don't get the glare of the light. Okay, we're going to get some better lighting, and that's been ordered through Amazon. So it will be here. Let's see. So any questions on 1, 2, 3, and 4? Okay, I'm going to go through this once with you. Then I'm going to have you try it on your own corner number 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see if any questions come up. Okay. Okay. So what I'd like to have you do is start from single whip, and we'll try corner 1, 2, 3, 4, and try it on your own. If you have any questions, it's good to bring them up and we can either show it from a different angle or explain a little bit more, okay? Okay, just checking in. If you have a question on 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, or conversely, just single whip to 1. Okay, anybody like to see anything again or a little explanation? So Fair Lady works at shuttles to the 4 corners. Okay, then what we're doing is, again, the last sequence, just like White Snake 6 out tongue, does repetition. Okay, and from here, we are also getting repetition. Okay, after the 4th Fair Lady, then what happens is you get the, ward off left, right, push upward, pull back, press forward, push, go back to single whip. Okay, now when you go from Fair Lady works at shuttles, 4, ward off left, we would take a 45-degree step, just like you do with the right foot on fist under elbow. Okay, and this is ward off left, this angle. The first time we did it, let's say we did a 90-degree step. Knee covers toe, nose and navel face 45 degrees in. This time, we're taking a 45-degree step with the left foot, and so you're facing straight ahead, so it's 45 degrees in from the direction of your left foot step. And from there, keeping the weight there, a 30-degree step, you repeat the push upward motion, pull back, press forward, and push. And we go into single whip from there. Okay, so we're going to go through Fair Lady works at shuttles, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go into the repetition. Okay, so let's, okay. So I can keep forgetting. Just want to make sure we get a good full body shot. Okay, from there. Okay. Now, Fair Lady works at shuttles. Corner number 1. Number 2. corner number 3, and corner number 4. Now lower the hands, left hand is holding a ball. Okay, turn the right toe out just a little bit, right in my base of it. Keep the knee bent. It's 45 degrees. Ward off left, but I'm facing straight ahead. Okay. Now, right hand holds the ball from underneath. Keep the left knee bent. 30-degree step right foot. This is repetition of push upward, pull back, press forward, and push. And extend the arms out, shoulder level, but they're not locked. They're straight but not locked. All the way in, right foot. Turn, left hand holds the ball. 90-degree step, make sure that back foot turns toe in, and repeat single whip. Okay? Okay, let's do this. Try on your own, go from your lady works her circles 4 to the repetition of ward off left, push upward all the way through single whip. So try that on your own. We'll see if there are any questions. Okay, let's just check in. Are there any questions? Or you'd like to see a movement from a different angle? Okay. Okay, and we have a pretty good space of time. And what we're going to do is we're going to,
Sensei,
yes,
I'd like to see it again, but this time you facing 180 degrees around. Face your back is to us.
okay, that's, wait, no, okay, all right, that's good. So we go here. There we go. This is corner number 1. Corner number 2. I'm going to move a little bit more here. Corner number 3. Now, corner number 4. And here we lower the hands, left hand, 45-degree step. Right hand holds the ball underneath, right foot, 30-degree step. This is pull back. Now we go push upward, pull back, press forward, and push. And turn. And repeat single whip. Okay. Is that a little clearer? Is that a good angle? Okay, all right. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so what we're going to do is cover the end sequence is very challenging, so we've actually broke it up into two lessons as opposed to everything the last lesson. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep forgetting to do big screen so I can make sure that I'm kind of in a good spot. Okay, now, single whip. Now, the first movement is single whip and it creeps down. Okay, And we'll go over these movements individually. But here I'm going to turn the left foot out. Keep the weight on the left foot, right foot toe, ding both stance. It's called step up to form 7 stars. Turn the palms up. This is a retreat step. And here we keep the weight down, left, right knee bent. This is called retreat to ride the tiger. What we're going to try here is turn and the right foot kicks horizontally. Okay? That kick is a challenging move. That's why we're not going to try to have you learn all of those last movements in the last lesson. This one gives you a little bit more of a sense where you can ease into it. In other words, if we're going to repeat it next week, but we'll work on each of them. Okay? Okay, so the first move, I'll do it from this angle, is single whip and creeps down. Now from here, you turn the right foot out, not too much. So it turns out to the side, 90 degrees, and that widens your base. Okay, right about here, for example, the distance between the feet is more like a shoulder width, but if you do this, it doubles that. So it seems like I'm going wider. I'm not really. Okay? This stays the same. Now this hand, I want you to see how the hand itself forms a circle. And right here, for example, the front leg straightens without locking. And it comes up, and right about here, this throat level, okay? Okay. Now be careful with that movement. We want to kind of get the feel of it this week. If we spend 10 minutes on it, most of all of you will wake up tomorrow, believe it or not, with a lot of sore muscles. One of the things about Tai Chi is you don't strain. You move from movement to movement, so there's never any overload on one movement, okay? But to learn it, we're going to practice it a couple times. So let's try. Okay, now turn the right foot out, toe out. And the feeling is the circle goes underneath the leg and creeps down. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is try that just a couple of times. We'll see if you have any questions. Okay? Don't overdo that movement. We're going to repeat it tonight, but in conjunction with some other movements. Because I don't want, again, anybody to wake up with one side of their body really sore. Okay? Okay. Anybody with a question? Single whip and creeps down. The weight goes back. Weight goes back onto the back leg. It's not that you drop your weight. It's the sense that, see, the hand forms a circle. And the circle kind of goes here. The front leg straightens, but it doesn't lock. And from here you go up, the arm extends so it's about throat level. This arm doesn't drop, it actually stays here. Toe in, toe out. Okay? Or I'll try it facing this direction. Okay? Any questions on that? I kind of want to move into other movements so we continue to practice it. But I don't want to try to do this 20 times, okay? It's kind of like the needle at sea bottom. You don't want to spend a half hour doing that move, okay? Anybody with a question or would like to see it from a different angle? Okay. So, now shift the weight onto the left leg. Turn the right foot in. Turn out the left. Now here, the weight stays down and on the left. You're forming two fists. Right hand goes underneath the left fist. Both turn palm down. And it's chest level. From this angle, and as the hands pass here, palms turn down, chest level. Step up to form 7 stars. Weight is back on the left foot. Okay? So let's try that one more time together. I'll face this direction. Step up to form 7 stars. Try that once or twice on your own. See if there are any questions. Okay. Anybody with a question would like to see that from a different angle?
I have a few questions, actually.
Sure, fine.
Well, the first one is about the feet. When we go from here to here to here to here, and when we're got the fist and we're going forward,
Okay.
does the right foot move before the fists, after the fists, at the same time? And is it heel toe or does it toe pointing?
Well, okay. The right foot moves to set the step up. So I'll get a full screen here so that I can make sure I'm in the screen here. Okay, now we're going to do from here. Hand creeps down. This question is a good question. See, I'm going to turn the right foot in. If I don't turn this foot out, balance is a little wobbly. So, we're here, we turn the left foot out about 45 degrees. Okay, this hand is on a light, easy fist. Okay? Now, I'm going to keep the lefty bent. Now, as the right fist passes underneath the left, both palms face down, but they're still in the form of a fist. Tai Chi fist is not a clenched fist, right? And the feeling behind it is a lot of times, but I've had the experience with Master Choi where he just put his hand here very lightly, and the feeling was that it was right through my ribs without any sort of push. All right, so the striking, boom, with the Tai Chi fist, your fist feels like a baby's fist, but there's a sense not so much hard, but that which is soft can penetrate. Boom, boom, boom. Penetration as opposed to outward force. Boom, boom. Okay? So, you know, the form itself is more for relaxation, meditation, but Tai Chi, for example, is very different than the Shotokan karate I studied. Okay? All right. Any other questions, or like to see it from a different angle, or okay? Oh, okay. Then the next move is called retreat to ride the tiger, which I'll do from this angle. Okay. Open the palms. Palms face up by chest level. Now this is a retreat step, toe heel. We've done that on the other side from repulse monkey. Okay, now this is from here, palms up, toe heel step. Turn the toe in, and this is called retreat to ride the tiger. Here you pick up and set down the toes of the left foot. Now, before we did stork spreads its wings, the hands are roughly the same, just above the forehead and waist level, but they're wider. Okay, not too wide. Okay, okay. From this angle. Okay. So let's try that motion a couple of times. Let's take it from single whip and creeps down. Step up to form 7 stars. Remember, turn the left foot out. Now open the hands, palms are up. Retreat step, right foot toe heel. Retreat to ride the tiger. I'll do it from this angle. Okay. I'd like you to try that a couple times on your own. We'll see if there are any questions. Okay. Now, so are there any questions so far on creeps down, step up to form 7 stars, retreat to ride the tiger? Any questions? Okay, so the next move, I'm checking the time, which, is very kind to us. Then my daughter is sort of on me and says, Dad, you gotta be more professional. When you say 7:30 to 8:30, make sure you go till 8:30. Okay, so the last move for tonight, and we're gonna focus on it a little bit more. Obviously next class. It's probably the hardest move for most people. Tai Chi is, somebody says, does it have kicks? Yes, it does. The form we're doing has only 1 kick, but it's the most difficult kick. Okay? And so what this is you form retreat to ride the tiger. Okay? Now you're going to keep the weight back. You're going to turn. Boom. There's the turn. then there's a kick. Okay? Now, okay. Corner number 1, okay. Fair lady. Okay, corner number 2. Corner number 3. Corner number 4. So wherever you are, okay, you have an orientation 1, 2, 3, 4 with fair lady works the shuttles. Okay? Now, from the direction we started, I'm facing this way for single whip. And, okay, so I'm going to face this way for retreat to ride the tiger. Okay, and I'm going to keep my weight back on the right foot. I'm going to reverse the hands. This hand is up, this hand is down. And I'm going to turn on, okay? Which means I'm pushing off a little bit, but I don't put my weight here to twist the foot. And now right about here, my toe goes towards, I think it's the 3rd corner of Fair Lady works the shuttle. Boom. Okay, so that turn is a bit challenging. So let's try it. From retreat to ride the tiger. Keep the weight back, bend the knee, but be light on that there. The hands reverse. This goes waist level, this goes above the forehead. That's the 3rd corner. My weight is on my right foot, that's there. And then, boom. Okay, this is a heel position with the ding bow. And I believe that's corner, a single whip. Okay, corner number 3. Okay, so let's try that again together, then we'll have you try it on your own. Okay, key element right there is try not to do this if you're wearing high heels. Okay, you want, yes, okay. I wear socks when I do it because sometimes, you know, if you're on a whatever surface you're on, you do it barefoot, your feet tend to kind of stick. And so I wear socks when I do it. There are Tai Chi slippers, which make this also quite easy. Okay, but if you're wearing real cumbersome footwear, this is hard to do. Okay, so let's go through this one more time, and then I'll have you try it. So keep the weight back. You're going to turn. The toe goes towards Fair Lady works the shuttles. 3. Now here, I'm going to swing it around. Corner number 3. Okay, right? So try that a couple times. We'll see if you have any questions. Okay. Okay. Anybody with a question on that motion or would like to see it again, maybe from a different angle? Anybody?
During the pivot, is the right heel the pivot point during that large pivot?
What's the pivot point? That's a good question. I can't pivot. I don't want to just do it on the heel. If I do it on the heel, and when I lift the leg, centrifugal force, okay? So what I do is right on the underside, the middle of the foot, there's the kidney point here, and it's just about 2 inches down. So I'm actually turning on the inside of the foot, boom, right there. So if I kind of go like this, that's what I turn on, okay? It allows me to turn, but what I do is I See, this isn't done fast. So there's a circle, and then there's a circle within the circle. That's the way I look at it. I don't see that motion. If I start to go out, first circle, then I expand the circle out, my balance goes out from the center. Now, when I say that I'm turning the circle within the circle, I'm not contracting. Right about here. Boom. Okay, it's like sometimes if you're on a spinning platform, right? You know, and you're going this way, okay, and then you put your hands in, and all of a sudden you go this way. So the turn itself, you want it quick. If it's too long and out there, you lose your balance. Okay, so circle, now circle within the circle. Okay, try it a couple more times. I think what we may do is just do the turn and then leave the kick till next week. Okay, so try just the turn. Okay, let's check in. So, yeah, so I think of it as a circle, and then there's a circle within the circle. Okay, and the circle within the circle, see if I go circle and there's a circle outside, it pulls my balance out. But when I say circle and then there's another circle within that, and they both align here, then that flows for me. And so it's the underside of the foot, not the ball of the foot or the heel, that for me is the pivot point. Okay? A question or any, all right? Okay, let's go from the beginning all the way through the last movement. Okay, so, okay, we will actually start the movement. Okay, so commencement and push upward. And fist under elbow. Slanting flying. Brush knee and twist step. And needle and C bottom. White snake sticks out tongue. And push. Single whip. And Fair Lady works at shuttles. And 45-degree step, forward off left. Be sure that right foot turns in. 30-degree step. Pull back. Press forward. And push. Now we're going to turn. Single whip. And tonight's movements. And creeps down. Step up to form 7 stars. Retreat, ride the tiger. Turn. We're just going to leave it with the turn. Okay, all right? Okay. So, before we break, anything that anybody'd like to see again or point clarification? Okay. As I said, my daughter says, Dad, be more professional. So, okay. By the way, just before we do, next week is lesson number 6. The following week, which will be September 30th, we're actually starting another 6-week session. So a couple of things on that. If you're interested, if you'd like to repeat the course, it's a $50 fee for those of you who paid $100 before. Okay, and let's see. I don't know. That's really bad. It's a discount. I actually repeated that beginning course with Master Choi probably about 6 or 7 times maybe. And so one of the things you kind of pick up is first time through, you're learning a lot of details. The second time through, third time too, if you want, you start to get the more experiential aspect of the motion, the relaxation, the breathing, ability to kind of sync your chi, which gives you stability and yet makes it very fluid in your movement. Okay, so that will be coming up. The last class in this sequence will be next week. And then following the next week after that, we'll be starting another sequence. And for those of you that have actually done the course, we might do something like a session where we just can go through the form as opposed to just going through and repeating the course. So we'll kind of run that past, me and my own system and just maybe check in next week, okay? But anyway, for tonight, thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.